Chapter 16, Language and Literacy in the Primary Years. This chapter explores the development of language and literacy in the primary years and the relationship between these areas of development and school life. During the preschool years, children of all linguistic and cultural backgrounds learn the basic syntax, semantics, and phonology of the language spoken within their families and communities. Some refinements occur in these areas in the primary years, but the most significant language advancement during this period is children's ability to use language in a variety of new and different ways. Children in many cultures must learn a new style of communication, the language of school. They must also acquire language that helps them influence and make new friends. In most cultures, children learn to read and write conventionally during the primary years. Some children face challenges in learning language and literacy. A child who is delayed in communication abilities may need much adult support in learning the structure and social uses of language. A child who speaks a different language than other students in the class may not only learn to speak, read, and write in a new language, but also to use it effectively in peer groups and in school. This chapter also has 6 critical concepts. Critical concept number 1. Most of the rules of one's native language are learned by the primary years. Minor refinements occur in the structure aspects of speech, phonology, syntax, and semantics. Metalinguistic awareness, the ability to think about language, is acquired during this period and assists children in language learning. Critical concept number 2. A primary area of language growth in the primary years is pragmatics. Children acquire a sophisticated understanding of the social uses of language, including the conventions for talking in school. Most children discover that there are certain ways to ask for help, answer questions, or seek information from a teacher that will lead to academic success. They come to understand that in many classrooms, only formal language is acceptable. Critical concept number 3. Different cultural groups have different rules for social language. The styles of discourse of some cultural groups may clash with the rules of conversation, often required in school. Topic chaining and collective styles of verbal interactions, for example, may not adhere to the rules for orderly conversation emphasized in the classroom. Informal and non-standard speech styles used in the neighborhood may be viewed as inappropriate by some teachers in American schools. Children of historically underrepresented cultures then will find school pragmatics particularly challenging to learn. Critical concept number 4. For children who are bilingual, the primary years can be a period of rapid linguistic growth within their second language. They may first apply the structures and rules of their native languages when speaking in the new language. For example, a child who speaks both Spanish and English says, "The man no like cheese," following the rules of Spanish. Eventually, children will be able to separate the two distinct rule systems and speak the second language with accuracy. Special supports in schools is necessary for this process to occur. A sink or swim approach in which no assistance is provided may impede linguistic development. A well-planned bilingual education program can promote the first and second language learning of all children. Critical concept number 5. Literacy growth is rapid in the primary years as children learn to read and write conventionally. Children's writing progresses in stages from pre-phonic writing, in which letters are randomly chosen to represent a message, to phonemic and transitional stages, in which there is a closer association between the letters they use and the sounds of the words in the story they are writing. Eventually, they use conventional writing in which words are spelled accurately. Reading also advances in stages. Children begin by focusing on illustrations rather than print as they read. Over time, they learn reading strategies such as phonics and sentence context and rely on only one of these to read. Finally, they read independently, using a balance of strategies to decode words they do not know. Critical concept number 6. Children who are bilingual must learn to read and write in two different languages. By acquiring literacy in their native language first, they will more easily learn to read and write in their second language in later years.